Serena, Felix, welcome to Mean Girl Pod. Alex, you're allowed to speak now.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm so excited because we have so many questions for you guys. I don't need to do that thing where I lean into the microphone. And beforehand, I kept wanting to talk to you about them, and Jordyn would be like, stop. Because it's so much better when you save it for the episode.
Yes, when questions are organic. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
We just want to quick say this is the first podcast where Serena and Felix are going to be talking about the relationship.
You excited about that?
I am very excited about that. So we're very, very happy to have you on the podcast.
And we booked you guys like a month ago, was it? And when we decided we wanted to do guest episodes, you guys were the first. We were like, if they'll do it together, we were like, that would be
Well, here we are.
the best.
We're happy to be here.
I know,
Thank you.
I'm pumped. I've known Felix, you probably for almost a year now.
Maybe. When did you come on my show? Maybe like 9-10 months ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And Serena, I've been following you for years, so it's just like so surreal to see you two together. And I remember I don't think I even told you this, but I picked up that he was dating you from like your first secret Instagram.
Really?
When we were
Why?
soft launching.
Why?
Because he had
Because I think I posted a picture of my ass with his hand on it.
he had like
Hell of a soft launch.
your Joe and the Juice
Oh.
shake.
Yeah.
And there was just like something about that. And then you posted something and I was like, wait, you guys are in the same place right now. And I was like, Felix, you're dating Serena Kerrigan. Like, what? It was just so crazy.
You knew because they both. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about the method behind the launch.
Okay.
So how long have you guys been officially dating?
6 months.
6 months. And then when did you decide, like,
The hard launch.
did you think about it?
Oh, did I think about it?
Well,
Did you storyboard it?
She curated it.
I literally, I'm a producer. I literally produced that whole thing.
Okay, talk us through it. Like, what was the thought process?
This was like a whole discussion.
No,
it was like,
it was.
Like, we're going to need to do
100%.
2 episodes.
This is like a content. I mean, think about it. Like, I knew that my audience was very invested in my dating life because I started out with a dating show during the pandemic and I have a dating card game. So that was really like my brand. And I'd been single for 5 years, so I knew when I like hard launched my relationship, like it wasn't gonna just be like a hee hee, like here's it was gonna be like a fucking break the internet moment.
And you did a very good job with that.
Yes.
But you said something, and it was like, trust me, guys, if I'm gonna, you'll know when it's my boyfriend or something. What did you say?
I said like, because I would like fuck around in my audience a little bit and just like post something flirtatious with like a random, probably a gay man usually, like a gay friend of mine. And everyone would be like, oh my God, like, is it him, whatever. And then I was like, no, like, if I have a boyfriend, like, you'll know, it'll be on, like, the cover of the New York Times.
That's what you said. And then I remember thinking, oh, okay, so she doesn't have the boy. And then I was like, wait, yes, she does.
Yeah, well, I couldn't wait for the New York Times. It was like, they were booked and busy.
We need to go back a few months of how you guys met because it's pretty iconic and it's really cool that you guys have it on camera.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the clip that I saw and I was like, oh my God, like this is so cool. You guys will have that forever.
I saw this clip too. It's
Yeah.
freaking cute. And
So-
I never see a clip, so.
So how did you guys meet? And did you guys know each other at all before?
So she was a guest on my podcast. I had her friend Talia Lickstein on my show, who on the podcast was like, oh my God, like in a story, you should have my friend Serena Kerrigan on. At that time, I didn't know who Serena was. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like,
What month was this?
this was maybe, I don't know, 9-10 months ago, maybe a
Okay.
year ago. And I had Talia on, and then after the podcast, maybe a couple weeks after, I looked up Serena. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, like definitely someone I would love to have on my show. I hit up Talia and I was like, hey, will you put me in touch with Serena? You mentioned like it'd be fun to have her on my show. And I think I said, I think we'd have a ball or something like that. And then Talia never answered. So then a couple months went by and I think one of Serena's posts or reels or something came up on my feed naturally. And I was like, oh, that's Serena. Like, and so then I DM'd her and I said, hey, I would love to get you on my show. She responded. She's like, yeah, email me, like my publicist. And so I'm like, okay.
Love that.
Well, email.
And then I emailed the publicist and set it up. And then she came on my show. And actually the first time that we ever like meet, hug, whatever, is we have a clip of that because my producer comes out with me when I greet my guests. And then she came on my show, and then 6 minutes in was, I guess, like the first real sign of flirtation. And then I think the energy was palpable, and from there, the rest is history.
And Serena, did you know Felix at all?
No, I had no idea. I was very taken aback that a straight male wanted to be on his podcast because that literally has never happened. I think the only other man's podcast I went on was Nick Viles. So it's like very rare. And that's why like when I saw him and I saw like a couple of his guests on his Instagram, I was like, yeah, absolutely. I typically am like selective about what podcasts I go on, but I was just like, you know, obviously like it's rare when a straight male wants to interview like the queen of confidence, baddie, SFK.
Yes.
So I was like, absolutely. But I really like, guys, like I have way more glam for this podcast than I did for that. Like I walked in with it, like I had no mascara on. Like I didn't give a fuck. Like I just was like, I had no perception that there was anything was gonna take place at all. Like at all. I remember I came out of the Uber and like he was waiting on the street with his camera. And I was like, oh, I love like a
Oh, nice.
But like, but I really immediately, there was like an obvious energy. And anyone who watches the podcast like would see that. I was very taken aback.
Well, so the iconic clip, and we'll show it on the YouTube version, is you're telling Felix that I think in 2 years you said you're going to have a boyfriend. And watching that clip, I was like, but Serena, in your head, like, did you think it could be him? Because I felt like there was some sexual energy going on.
What does my life look like? I mean, I'm going to be on television for sure. No, I am. I'll be on a streamer and I'll have sold my movie or making my movie. 2 years. Yeah. And I'll be in a relationship in 2 years for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where are you going to find this human?
I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out.
Guess people are going to have to stay tuned.
I'll bring him to the pod.
Please do.
Sit on my lap. No, people like on TikTok or Instagram have been like, they definitely knew each other before. They definitely were dating before. I'm like, no. Like, I wasn't even thinking about Felix. I think Felix was thinking about me.
That's a great.
No. Like, I mean,
I
your
need to
response
respond
really,
after.
you're like, where are you going to find this human? I'm like,
Where is he?
Did
Bring
you
him
see
to
your
the
face the
pod.
whole pod?
No, the
You
whole
were
podcast, I
gushy.
was definitely giddy, but like, you're just not thinking of it. Like, I wasn't like, this is my person. We just met.
Okay, but what was Felix
Okay,
thinking?
Right.
Because you were like flirting
early
back.
on because I think it's like six and a half minutes in.
He knows the number.
You know the number too. I said, she was like, "Are you hitting on me? I'm down," and like that's very SFK. And then I go, Serena, like we have to keep this professional, right? Because I think the worst thing for me as like a podcast host is like to invite someone on to like go out and like hit on them on the pod, like whatever. So, but once she made that first step,
You
I
did
was
call me an Uber Black, to be fair.
Great move.
One-
And I noticed. I was like,
Oh, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Right.
It's good.
so once she
Sorry
said
if he
that,
didn't call you an Uber Black.
He did not, but that is fine.
Students like, what the
But no, I'm like,
wait, this is
chocolate.
this is dangerous.
You're
This
intuition,
podcast is
you're intuition.
dangerous. So, but when she said that, I like the energy was palpable, and you know, there was also her publicist and my producer in the room. So like, and there's cameras. So, and I want to keep it professional. Of course, you don't know if it's like if we're just joking or whatever. But during the podcast, if you look at your face too, like we're both kind of giddy and smiley, and it was obvious that like afterwards something was to come from it. But in the moment, I was trying to remain as professional as possible.
So when you so you guys sit down and are you kind of at all like, oh, like he's cute? Or
I definitely thought he was cute, but like it was more just like an energy thing. Like it was just, and honestly, we had a lot in common. We're both only children, grew up in New York City, bilingual, foreign parents. Like we had a lot of like synergy, but I feel like it was really, I was dating someone else at the time and he was treating me like shit, like so bad, like ghosting, then not, then like, but it was very in the beginning stages, but really like never felt like I could cut through, it was very like surface level. And so going on Felix's podcast and him really, I feel like seeing me, making me feel safe to be myself, but really like seeing me in the way that I am so quickly really like took me aback. Like I was like, wow, you really understand me. And we literally don't know each other at all.
wow.
So that was like kind of like a moment. But it's like in those moments, you're not like, oh my God, this is definitely gonna be my boyfriend. I was just like, I
Right.
remember leaving the podcast and turning to my publicist being like, that was crazy, right? That was like, that was a crazy energy in that room. And then I texted him.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. What's the move?
I texted first.
What did you do? Like immediately after, or like a day?
I think like a couple hours, I was just like, I had such a great time. Like, thank you for having me.
Quick pause to talk about Ritual because there's nothing better than having all of your vitamins in one vitamin so you don't have to take a bunch of pills, you just have to take one pill. Ritual is a clinically backed multivitamin for women 18 and older with high quality and traceable ingredients that are clean and they're in bioavailable forms. It is so important to know what you're putting in your body, especially when it comes to a pill you take every day, especially the older you get. So Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus is one of the few multivitamins that's USP verified, meaning what's on the label is actually what's in the formula, and that is very important because a lot of times the pills you're taking, what's on the label, there's so much more in there and it's not good for your body. It's also soy-free, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and formulated without GMOs. No more shady business. Rituals Essential for 18 Plus is a multivitamin that you can actually trust, and the best part is, you guys, let me reiterate, you just have to take one pill, and it does the job of so many pills. Ritual is offering our listeners 30% off during your first month, so head over to ritual.com/meangirl to start Ritual, or add the Essential for Women's 18 Plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/meangirl for 30% off your first order.
That was basically that. And then I got that text, and I really liked that she had texted me first. I was obviously going to text her as well. And that's a big tip, I think, in general, is no gamesmanship. And then I was like, I really enjoyed, but far too soon. Like, let's continue.
Far too short.
Far too short. Sorry.
We memorized the script of our yeah. We've actually had them framed.
There we go.
We printed out our deck. Okay, so then, like, did you say, like, let's hang out?
And then we went to dinner.
He took me to Omakase on the first date. Picked me up in his car.
Is that a win?
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
It's huge.
Okay. That would be a win for me, but you know.
You live in Brooklyn. You live in
Village.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was just really, I remember I didn't know that he offered to pick me up, which I thought was like, again, like I just think all the things that are bare minimum, like I just felt very taken care of. But I remember like sometimes when you get picked up, it's weird because then you have to like do the journey together, and there's no alcohol, and not that you need it, but like it's
sober.
Like, I hope not. But it's just like you have to do the whole like what is that going to be like? And I just remember the moment we got into the car, it was just like straight banter, like laughing, like vibes. And I really think that like it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to just be like you feel safe and flow and great energy all around. Like I never second guessed anything that I did or said or texted with Felix. And I did that so much in literally every other relationship or like hookup situationship that I was in.
Okay, I like that you said that he saw you for who you were, like the very
Right.
beginning. Can you explain that a little bit more? And maybe was it mutual? Like, did you both just did you feel misunderstood sometimes? And then you felt like he just really understood who you were?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, also, I mean, I feel like I play a bit of an exaggeration of myself online. Like, I think that SFK is this, like, baddie, bad bitch, confident persona. I think that it's also, like, a protective shell for who I really am and that I am, like, mushy and soft. I think that he immediately knew that. Like, there was no explaining. Like, another podcast or other people I've met, they're like, wait, I don't really get the SFK thing, right? Like, he just got it. He completely understood that there was two facets to who I was.
And it's funny, too, because, like, I always tell her, I'm like, I've never really met SFK. I just know Serena, and I think that's really how I apply it. Like I understand the business side of it, and I'm like, you know, in admiration of the business and what SFK stands for, and I think it's fantastic for women, but also men. And then I think it was very clear though to me from when I'd researched her prior to our podcast, and then when I was sitting down with her, that like this is a very mushy, like loving human, and SFK is the brand, and it's an amazing brand. So I think I was able to understand that, and I think for her, she respected and loved that I saw her for that.
Oh, I love that. I have a question. So, because like Serena, you're obviously very much so in the public eye. Felix, you are too to some degree. Like I feel like you're very entrepreneur in the background, but you have a podcast. You have two podcasts, and you guys are both seen by the public and have a following. How has that been having a public relationship? Because sometimes people have relationships and they keep it private, but you had this like very, very cool way of like coming out with the relationship. Like how has that been?
I think I was really scared in the beginning, and that's why like the hard launch was such a like. I mean, we launched really fast, like online, like a couple months into dating. But I was just like, I felt inauthentic because I was with him 24/7 and I wasn't showing him. It was weird, right? And I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know. I'm really happy. And I feel like I always was saying for the past 3 years, especially with, you know, being a public persona, was like never fucking settle. Like never settle. And then sometimes like I would get nervous because I'm like, I'm giving this advice. I'm like, holy fuck, like what if I never find my person? And then I did. And I'm like, I was right. And I feel like it's important for my audience to see that. Of course, we get like a mean comment every once in a while, but that's gonna happen when you're happy. Like,
Yeah.
People, yeah. What do you think?
No, I think for me, like her brand and her business is a lot more like everyday engaged with social media because that's like really the main platform. I think for me, the podcast stuff, I post it because you have like if you have a podcast, that's what you have to do. I care a lot less. Honestly, I probably should more. And I'm less engaged. I post a lot less. So I kind of let her take the reins on how she wanted to handle, the quote hard launch and all that stuff. I know that it meant a lot more to her and also her brand and her following that are like extremely engaged in the day to day. So the public stuff I let her kind of do it and I'll follow.
Okay, so on this business side of things, like I feel like when you say you felt understood, there was this very obvious just like rocket ship takeoff, I feel like, when you guys both started dating. And it's I think you've always been very business oriented with the way you've done things and the way you brand things. Like there's just clearly so much more and method kind of, but there's just so much more going on than behind the scenes. Like you can tell. I was like, of course, she's probably storyboarded out this launch. Like you really think through it. Even when we were setting up, you're like this angle. I mean, you're just like very.
I'm a producer.
Yeah. You're just like thorough
100%.
and you're a thinker and then when we talked to you just like a little bit about things, and so I could tell you've got this business mind too. So how was that? Did you guys just feed off each other constantly and like take each other's ideas and just magnitude them? Like, what's that been? It's so obvious.
Yeah.
From even on just seeing it online, I'm like, these two together, it's so much power.
I think what Serena is unbelievable as she has an amazing business and is an amazing entrepreneur, but I think her skill that's really one of the best in the world is her ability to storytell. And you see that through her brand and content, with literally working with some of the biggest brands in the world. And I think, so for me, I have so much admiration for that. And that's something I'm not as good at all. I enjoy a lot more of the business, like entrepreneurial aspect of dealing with like if you're doing a product, like the manufacturers and suppliers, stuff like that. So I think, her and I are working on things together, and I think we complement each other perfectly in that regard, where I'm more of like the executor and she's more of the visionary and the branding and the marketing, because I just think that she does it the best. So I think that's really kind of, and also, with the launch and how we approach it that way, I kind of let her take care of the storytelling, and then more of, what we're working on is the execution is me.
So will you give us like an example of that? So you'll come up with the idea of something, and then Felix, you'll take it over the finish line?
So, I mean, we're just getting started, but yeah, we have a couple of business ideas that we've come up with, exactly that. And so Felix is doing all of the back end and all the logistics and like really the creation of the product. And then I'm going to be doing like ideation, marketing, all of that. But I feel like it's interesting because it's like I never anticipated working with my significant other. That's not something I like ever thought of, but we're so ambitious and we spend every second together. So like, thank God we have like a fucking business idea, right?
Yeah,
like we might as well like take our love for each other and like make something out of it. Like we're not ready for kids yet. So like, right? So it's like, why not like create a baby, which is like a product? And I think like we're so passionate and it's just so fun.
Yeah. That's
so
why
we can't say what it is yet.
That's fine. Respect.
But like even with
actually.
my card game business, like he's really helped me like with sales and like helping us like love that presentation.
I know. I'm like, can you see this on camera?
With Let's Fucking Date, Let's Fucking Go. Like I have 4 card games for dating and also just getting to know each other. Just came out with Let's Fucking Go. It's beautiful. It's the golden ticket to going out.
It's so cute.
It's to be played by anyone and everyone.
I'm so excited to play this.
But Felix helped us a lot with like, I'm a very, very, very small business. We're profitable. We have been since launch, but in 2020, but it's hard as fuck to run a business and to know when to prioritize what, especially because I want to do so many things. So he offered, because it's going to help, he's basically doing this with his own businesses, is helping me with outreach, wholesalers, et cetera. And it's just been amazing. Like it's amazing to work with him and help me in a capacity that I literally simply don't want to, and don't know how, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like one thing that he's been helping me with a lot.
I think too, it's like, I've learned a lot from her, and I think, she's extremely busy with what she's doing. So I think it's really, and it gives you a purpose when you're working with your significant other, if you're able to do it the right way, I think, where like now we want success, not just for ourselves, but for each other. and our future together. So I think it adds a whole other layer of like purpose and motivation and like hunger. Not that we didn't have it before. So that also I think makes it enjoyable and exciting.
But also like we really respect each other. Like I respect him. Like there's no ego with us. And I think we communicate like tremendously. So like we always just say what's on our mind. We've created a very safe space for us to like talk, which I don't think we could really build a business together if we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like you guys, there's no competition at all, no ego. Like you guys complement each other so well, and I just feel like huge things are gonna come from you two. Like I can just like
Thank you,
feel
Joy.
the energy around them.
You can see it online too.
Yeah.
Like it was a really good puzzle piece fit. I think in terms of the business and like the growth, but the mindset that you all have. And I feel like maybe, because you said, I never thought I would work with my significant other.
Never.
And I think that doing it like this, because one of the questions is like, we were going to ask about, does working together affect the relationship? But it's like you answered it already. It makes it better. I feel
mean,
like
totally.
it enhances it.
Yeah.
We went to France with his like dearest family friends, like basically his cousins, and their parents have been married for forever. And I was like, how? Like, because my parents got divorced when I was 2. Same with Felix. So like we're both like want to obviously. We're just very curious, like, what does a healthy, sustainable relationship look like? And I remember they said, they were like, we've always had projects together, whether it's raising kids or whether it's the business or whether it's building a house. Like, we've always done a project together and every decision is made together. And I loved that because I think that we're told a lot, like, never work with a friend, never work with a significant other. But, like, I have a lot of friends that have businesses together. Like, Teza, who does the Teza app, like, she works with her husband. Castamiko has RM Collective with her husband. I'm like, I know a lot of creators turn entrepreneurs that, like, they're fucking killing it. And it's like, it makes sense, right? Because like we're so passionate about it and we get so excited and we're together all the time. So what better way to build a business?
Yeah. Do you guys have boundaries with one another? Like at a certain time, do you put your phones down? Like how do you guys?
I'm like,
Yeah.
why are we talking about this 9:30 p.m.? Like we're done. No, I literally
I have like the issue where like I'm always like excited about things. So I'm like, yo, what do you think about this? And then she's like, can we stop? Like it's 9. Like I don't want.
my mind shuts off. You can go. You're like, but he's excited and passionate. So I'm just like, but sometimes my mind, I'm like, we're done.
But I think too, it's like
So true.
the way I view it is always the relationship is number one. Like we can start a product, launch a business. If it fails, honestly, I don't care. I do care, but I care about our relationship 100,000 times more. So I think that, you know, when you have that mentality and you're okay with either the failures, potential failures, or things not happening the way you are, but always making sure that your relationship is number one priority, I think it relieves a lot of the stress and you can work a lot better and execute a lot better.
So he actually pitched me an idea for my business and we had 2 calls about it. Even though we like basically live together, not really, but like we were separate. We had like 2 long calls about it, and it just like it just didn't feel good for me, and I got very tense about it because I'm very protective of my business. And he immediately was like, "We're not doing it." He was like, "I'm not going to convince you to do something with your business. Like I can already tell like your energy, and like he was like, I love you, and like I want to protect us and you, and like." If you're not feeling good about it, it's just not worth doing. And I really appreciated that he sensed that, and he wasn't like, no, like we have to do this business. Like he is. I've never met a man with like so little ego. Like it's just like amazing because I can't stand like half the men that I've like ever interacted with. And I spend 24/7 with a man. It's like crazy to me. It's so fucking insane.
Okay, so I have a
Like,
question
what?
about more your relationship.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the coziest, the best, the one and only Skims, because Jordyn and I we're just obsessed with it. So we ordered the robe and the loungewear set, and we're gonna talk to you about that because we've just been both living in it. I literally can't take either of the items off. I will literally sleep in my loungewear, I'll go to the gym, I'll take my gym clothes off, I'll put my loungewear back on, I will put my robe on. Every meeting we've had, you see me in my black onyx or my onyx robe. Oh my god, you guys, it's unbelievable. Skims is creating next generation underwear, loungewear, and shapewear, and you have got to go get it because not even for this holiday season, only just in life in general, you need to be this cozy.
Also, the loungewear is like very sexy. Like I love how it like cuts on my waist and how light and like soft it is. Like people just want to touch it because it's so comfy and cozy. And I just like so they're long sleeve, long pants. Usually I sweat when I sleep. These are so cooling. I don't even sweat when I'm wearing them when I sleep. I sleep better in Skims.
Yeah, that's a good line right there. And Skims is making your holiday shopping so easy with styles for everyone in the family. Skims Holiday Gift Shop is a destination for all your gifting needs, and it seriously is. I'm getting all of my friends this. Believe the hype, because Skims has over 100,000 5-star reviews for a reason. Skims Holiday Gift Shop is now open at skims.com. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75. After you place your order, guys, be sure to do this. You select podcast in the survey, and be sure to select Mean Girl Pod as the show in the drop down. Don't forget to do that part. We are obsessed with this stuff. Go get some. Get it for all your friends and your family.
Okay, so obviously you guys, because you just said you love him, you guys love each other, and it seems like you have a future plan because you said the kids thing. How did you guys know?
Imagine if that was like the first time.
I
we
know.
ever
I was
did
like,
it.
I have to like make sure like you guys are serious for asking this question. How do you guys know? You guys, each of you were the one for each other, and that you weren't settling. Like, how do you? Because everyone's always like, you know, when you know, and I feel like you guys had that moment.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
You can watch us on your wedding day.
No, 100%. We have so much good
content.
content. We're gonna need like a whole editor
This
for
is
the
gonna be
whole thing.
literally like documentary on Max. Like, why not? Serena Felix. No,
I
there
think
will be.
for me, it was just like I had never met someone that was so like me, and also in a lot of ways very different. And really, like the word like compliment, like I just felt like we complemented each other perfectly, and it felt like really like my best friend. Like we were talking about anything. Like early on, it just felt so, you know, I guess earlier you said easy. But I knew like this was the person I wanted to be with without a linger of a doubt. So for me, it was just like, it was so obvious. And I think that people have a tendency sometimes to overcomplicate things, and there's a gamesmanship when you first start dating sometimes, and you're overthinking a text. Like I never overthought a text, never overthought like really anything at all. So I think it was clear as day, and I didn't want to overcomplicate things that was as easy as it was.
I feel like people say when you know, and it's so annoying. Like when I was single, I was like, fuck off. What do you mean? It's so true. Like it just is. Like it should feel easy. It should hit. Like there's just like this kind of like puzzle piece that it just fits. But I will say, like from the get-go, here are the things that I would look for if you are single and like looking for that and wanting to know. Safety. Like I know that's something that like when you think of safety, you're like, what's dangerous? But really, truly, like feeling really safe to say anything, be yourself. Like that was something difficult. Like I literally built a persona because I didn't feel safe being myself. So like immediately I was Serena with him. And I think that, you know, even if you don't have a persona, like just think about the way you're feeling. You should feel very open and like not so guarded up, which I felt very much so. And like taking care of, like, you know, not just like paying for the bill, although he does and continues to do that, but like just like really taking care of things. Like it's so bare minimum, but it's like just there was always a plan. There was always like a lot of thought put into the plan. Like there was spontaneity. There was just like safety and like love from the get-go. And I don't know. I just think that I look back at how many times I was compromising in the past. But does that mean they're the one? Not necessarily. I just feel like we also, I don't know, there's just a lot of synergy here, a lot. We're also only children and of divorced parents in New York City. Like I can't explain to you how unique of a experience that is. We grew up a lot and spent a lot, foreign moms, like bilingual, like family abroad, like it's very rare. And I never thought I would meet someone that had that very shared experience, but like we spent a lot of time alone growing up, like a lot, right? Or with just one parent, usually a female parent. So I feel like we know what we want in terms of always wanting it, like wanting a companion. Like we didn't have that. We didn't have a sibling that we could do things with. Not that we're siblings. That's fucking weird.
but you, that makes sense.
A brother and a
Like,
boyfriend built in one.
yeah. So now he's my family, and everyone's like, "What? That's an interesting turn."
Right, but you get it.
When you said the business thing and how he was like, "We're not doing it,"
Yeah.
like in terms of feeling safe, that probably meant a lot. Like you
Yeah.
earned trust right then, and that was probably like a compounding effect.
Like, yeah.
Well, I think too, like for me, I can read her very, very well now.
Like
so,
it's annoying, you know?
so I could tell like she wasn't comfortable, and I don't care what the situation is. If she's not comfortable, like we're not doing it, you know? And I don't want to, I'm never going to force, especially it's her business, her life. Like I'm just not that person. So I think And I think that's really important if you're going to work with your significant other to be able to understand and know them like that. Because again, it could be one little thing. Like if I had forced too much, that could take a really big toll on your relationship and end a relationship. So I think it's really important to understand that and know your person before you get involved in any kind of business together. And then I think when you understand that, you can literally do anything.
Wow. Literally do anything. That's
It's also
pretty-
nice to like you're working towards a shared goal, you know? Like it's so exciting. Like it's a really different level of purpose, you know? Like it's really special.
It feels special. Like I'm really happy to, because what you see online, which we both have like seen the clips, or we'll see your guys' relationship, but to see you in person, it's so funny because you said you could feel it.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way. I'd like want people listening just to be like, yeah, it's you really do feel it in person and see it.
Yeah.
And it's special. It feels special. Like it's like a great fit.
Well, and I love too, Serena, you said you dated so many shitty men.
So many.
And you just didn't settle.
No.
Which I love. Like I
And
feel
people
like
on the internet were like, "You're too picky." Like they were like, "Girl, like no, literally."
no such thing as being too picky.
No.
You had standards.
And especially when you see this, like you bear the fruits. Like that's.
And it was like dating in New York City, especially, is like it's a war zone out here.
God, it's horrible.
It's really hard.
me about to embark on
Oh,
my.
we can say that now. I was like, can we say that? Yeah, welcome to the jungle.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Like it's like you do the work, and like there was a lot of, I think that like when you're ready, you'll have the opportunity. Like when you're ready and you've done the work on yourself, like you will meet your person. And so until then, it's really plotty and fun and like tons of great content stories. But yeah, like I just knew. I was like, any female in New York or in the world can have a boyfriend if they want to. I don't really think, or a significant other. I don't think it's that hard. But it's like, what do you want? I didn't want a boyfriend. I wanted my person, and I was willing to wait.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, I didn't want a boyfriend. I wanted my person. That gave me
Clip.
chills. Clip. That's the episode.
No, I love that.
Did you want a girlfriend?
Yeah, I think for me it was like I knew what I wanted, and you're never sure, you know, if you're gonna find what you want. And sometimes I think you think that you found what you want, and sometimes just the energy or the synergy just doesn't match up. And then it's funny, like when it happens, you're like, wait, this is so easy. So then I think that for me was the big sign. But yeah, I think I wanted, as you said, like my person, and I didn't want to like just date around. I was more interested in building something and like a long-term future. And I think sometimes you're scared to tell yourself that. But if you're honest, like with yourself, that's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then it clicked and it happened.
Wow, timing worked out.
I know.
Timing's
I love
everything.
How about it is?
Like we actually were at the same party. Meredith Duxbury like throws a Halloween party every year, and we were at the same party a year ago, and like in the same room, and
really?
didn't even meet each other. And there's this thing called string theory.
I was just gonna say the invisible
which I
string
didn't come up with.
theory.
Yeah, invisible string with Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, not me. Don't be mistaken.
Sorry, Taylor.
But that like your person, like you've been in the room with them before, and then we like realized in 2016 we were both at the VMAs, like so like whatever. We've been
wow.
stringing around
We've been stringing.
forever.
And it was just like the world, the universe was waiting for you guys to be happy with yourselves
Yeah.
before you met, so you could
Exactly.
be happy
Absolutely.
together.
That's nice. It was.
love
The universe
that.
was waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, we have to play the game.
Yeah,
We're
should we
gonna
play
run out of
some
time,
games?
and I think they'll be good candidates for the game.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a list of
Stressed.
questions.
It's like the wedding shower. Do they do that up in New York? In the South, we always do it, and the couples would like face back to back, and they would have each other's shoes.
Yeah. So we're just fast forwarding right to the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you guys got married. The title of the episode is going to be "They Got Married."
Serena and Felix's wedding.
Hard launch the marriage.
Holding for kids, but that's the. Okay, so do you just want to go like back and forth?
I'm scared. What if we don't know
No,
anything
I'm
about
actually
it?
scared.
It's also
So I have these, then I have.
no, I'm dead because it's like
Okay,
we
so
just
I'll
talk
go
such
to
big-
additional, and you go to mine up top.
Okay.
I'm dying because like we obviously you're like you're so amazing like power couple it out like what if we don't know any?
We expose
Just
you.
I'm like
Paid
actually
actor,
nervous.
paid actor.
I'm nervous.
They don't know anything about each other.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll just go. You just read off everyone. Okay. Okay. So, well, how are we gonna have them do that? Just raise their hand, point.
Yeah. Or how about you use the
Do you want us to close our, okay, great. Do you want us to close our eyes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. Wait. So wait, but
Closing our eyes and then we'll lift it up.
Yeah, and then you can open them once you
Okay.
to see.
Okay.
but no. But what? Hold on. So I'm gonna say who pays on the date, which we now know
Right,
the
and
answer
then-
to.
So then, forget the lifting. It should just be
You point.
pointing.
Yeah,
Okay.
you point. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll do a warm up with this one.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. So wait, close. Yeah. Okay. All right. Who pays on the date? Okay.
Should we? Well, if people aren't watching, we should say what they.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
watch on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So they posted Felix.
So Felix.
yes.
Felix.
Okay.
Okay. You have to, great call.
Okay. Well, you should be watching on YouTube though. So go to YouTube.
I mean, we're really hot.
yeah. If you want to see these two.
Yeah, we're too hot for a podcast. Like, let's
Yeah.
see
Get
it.
your ass up there too.
Okay. Close your eyes. Who is the better cook? Oh, they both said Felix.
Very
Yeah.
much like Felix on that one.
Do you
Okay.
guys cook together a lot?
You cooked last night.
We try.
Pasta and shrimp.
Some shrimp pasta.
No, I don't do that.
No,
You
literally.
consume.
I consume.
Yeah, he makes. Okay, I like that. Okay, ready? Who makes the bed? Oh, Felix.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I don't do that either.
He is
Good
OCD.
job.
Like it's like I just want to let him do his thing.
Is it like a really well-made bed too? Like he's cooking.
No,
Oh,
it's
he's making the
beautiful.
bed.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. We don't believe in gender roles, okay?
I love that.
Support.
Who said they loved you, or who said I love you first?
Felix.
Oh, okay. Can you guys tell us a little story how that happened?
It was very early on,
Yeah.
and it actually, we had gone on a trip together like right when we first started dating, and I kind of slipped out and said it, and I was like, oh shit.
But I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
Oh,
it
okay.
when you said I love you.
And-
when did you say it? Like behind my head?
maybe. And then
When
we
were going
got
to bed, like
You're asleep.
I love you so much.
I love you.
and then we got back, and then we were on the couch. It was funny, like I knew we were gonna say it in that moment, and we were both like, "No, you say it first." And so then I took the reins and said it first, but she said it immediately right after.
of course. Because it's so I don't know.
You had been feeling it, and like
Yeah,
that's
I
how you
wanted to
accidentally say
say
it. I think.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it in your head, and
Or
then it
when
just
you're like,
comes
I
out.
really, really like you. It's like, yeah, okay, bitch.
Like,
You
what
love
does that
me.
mean?
Yeah.
Quick pause to talk about AG1. I gave AG1 a try because I was so tired of taking so many supplements and I wanted to have everything in one place. Why did you?
So I have problems with my digestion and bloating. So, and I also, I don't eat vegetables.
You don't.
And I needed something that would benefit all of that, and AG1 is perfect for that.
When I started taking it, what I noticed was that I could focus better and my body just felt more energized and I felt more clean. What'd you feel?
Yeah, no, I felt, well, first off, if you I take it every morning, and starting my day off with like a clear digestion and no bloating makes me feel just more comfortable throughout the day. Also, Pete saw me taking it, my boyfriend, and he now takes it, and he puts it in his smoothie every morning, and we'll drink it.
So you got your family on it now, and my mom started taking it too because she's always like, I feel kind of bloated, and this has made such a big difference in her life. So everyone go recommend it to a family or a friend and get some for yourself, because AG1 is the supplement that we trust to provide the support that your body needs daily, and that's why we're excited to partner with them. And we're excited to welcome them as a new partner of the Mean Girl podcast. So if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamins D3, K2, and 5 free AGI1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkagi.com/meangirl. That's drinkagi1.com/meangirl today to start your health journey and have a better end to this year.
Jordyn's I love you with her boyfriend. He was like, I really like you. And she's like, but what's it mean?
I was like,
Kinda
what does that
I love
mean?
you.
I was like, but what does that mean?
100%.
He's like, I love you. I was like, oh, I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, cute, he said it.
Well,
Oh my God, I never knew.
Okay, is it me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Who does the dishes?
Felix's
They both pointed at themselves.
Well,
who does it
we're not
more?
really
I think the question.
we're not really doing that much in the kitchen, really.
We're not.
No, I mean, no.
No.
If I had to say more, I'm pointing still to myself.
Right,
but
fine.
Well, so mine was going
I'm
to be
the
who
entertainer,
cleans.
okay?
Somebody, lead
Unpaid
from the
labor.
front.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, eyes closed.
Oh,
If you guys get in a fight, who says I'm sorry first?
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I
Oh,
love
okay.
that.
Yeah. Both pointed at Serena.
Because I'm usually the starter of the fight.
At least you're aware, though. That's
The
no
self-aware.
So I'm
Hilarious.
usually the one who fumes and like is mad for no reason. So
So that
I'm
you,
like, I'm sorry.
you say sorry out of default of having to.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
I
cute.
love that.
Okay. Who is nicer? Okay, we're debating. They're both. Felix said Serena, but you said both.
I think we're equal, honestly.
We're really nice to each other. We're
Okay.
very-
Yeah.
Yeah, you both seem very nice. There's not like a
No.
lead nice person happening, really. There really truly isn't.
And it seems like you guys are both like very extroverted as well. Maybe not.
I think so, but you feel like
I kind of sometimes think I'm a lot more introverted. I think compared to you as well, I'm more introverted, but I can talk. So
Yeah,
that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Close your eyes. Felix is like eyes open. Who is the planner of the relationship?
Okay. We've got Serena's pointing at herself, and Felix is going back and forth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because it seems me. I don't know.
Well,
From what I've gathered,
Yeah.
I would think you're the planner
Yeah.
socially, but I could see you kind of planning like things that like logistically.
She's we're both honestly very organized. Like we always say if it's not on the Google Cal, it doesn't exist. So we're both
that.
like
Thank
we're
you for
both
sending
like
them.
that. Yeah, thank you for sending the Google
yeah,
Cal.
definitely
You're
wasn't.
so welcome.
Didn't know we sent one.
Color
But
coordinating.
yeah, I
everything.
think we go back and forth.
So both. So there's not like one's like absolutely the planner.
No.
No.
Both can plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Who's funnier? Oh, okay. Immediately to Serena.
We know
Yeah.
our strengths here. Okay?
I
I can't cook. I can't clean. But I'm funny as fuck.
I will not make that bed, but I'll make him laugh.
It's true.
We know our roles. I like that.
Okay, so this one's funny. Who's the better singer?
Oh.
Oh, Felix.
No, like I
No.
cannot sing.
Oh, you're just that
It's
bad.
okay. No, like don't. I'm not even gonna like pretend.
And
I feel
he's-
like you would have like that good voice.
Thank
though,
you
'cause it's-
so much. That's so amazing. Like no,
I would kind of think that she would, yeah.
Right?
I
could
wish.
sing. You
Can
just
you guys
don't.
sing?
No.
No, God, no.
No.
My mom would pay me not to sing. It's good. She'd be like, no.
Here's a $5 bill or not. Yeah, I could see you carrying a tune, but nope, okay. Doesn't happen.
That is kind of an internet question.
What?
Do they live together? Some
Yeah,
people wanted
we're-
to know if you guys actually live together or not.
Including Brandon, who's in this.
Yeah.
I was like,
Brandon,
I need
we
to
can
know.
answer
Do you
for
guys
you.
live together?
So basically, like my lease. Okay, so basically, before I met Felix, I was moving. I was like, I'm fucking done with dating in New York. Like, I need to leave
Oh, you were going to move out of the city.
the country.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, I was being
country.
dramatic for sure. I was thinking of moving to London. Like my business is here, like my whole life, my family, like whatever. But I just needed that moment. But I actually think it put me in a really great headspace. And I suggest people to be in it, which is like, that's why I felt very open because I was leaving, you know? So I was like, when Felix came to my life, I was like, sure, I'll go. Like, I want to go on a date. Like, it progressed because I also felt to some degree like, oh, I'm going to depart. And very very quickly, that wasn't going to happen anymore. But in terms of my whole apartment situation, and I'm going to go into the minutiae of this because I know it was very confusing and clickbaity.
It was also it was like an iconic way to announce
Iconic.
it.
Yes.
Iconic.
Like,
I
I'm
need
moving to
know this.
Brooklyn. Iconic. We moved to Brooklyn, and I make that video. Everyone freaks out, whatever. Then I ended up finding an apartment much later in the West Village, which I live there now, and we basically like live there together.
Yeah, I mean,
Unofficially.
I'm there, you know, basically every day. Of course,
I get
she's always
hungry, I
welcome.
need someone to feed.
That bed's not going to make itself.
Exactly.
I
Like,
make my bed sometimes. He just does it really good.
I still like I have
Does it? He just says it appears. It's like magic. Okay.
I have my studio in Brooklyn. Like I have, you know, we can always go to Brooklyn. I think a lot of her, you know, daily life and business and events are a lot in the city, so naturally they're more. But yeah, and I'm happy to be with you there.
It's interesting because people were like, "Oh my god, like you've been dating for like 3 seconds." Like I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're in a relationship where you want to spend a lot of time with your significant other, I just don't think it's a big deal. What I've noticed, and maybe I did it before too, honestly, was like it's very easy to be judgmental of someone else's relationship and be like, wow, their timeline or their living situation or isn't that crazy or like whatever. And I just like, I'm like, now that I'm really in one that's so special and sacred to me, I'm like, fuck what anyone thinks. Like, and also like what works for certain people might not work for others. For us, it was always just very natural that we like wanted to spend every night together.
Yeah.
You know, and we still both have our own places, and I think that is important too, to have our own like, you know, be able our own little. I have my glam room. He has his podcast studio. Like we have our own like man caves.
Yeah.
Or woman cave.
Yeah, you have a woman cave.
A year ago, if I heard that, I probably would be like, whatever, like that's so stupid because I was jealous and now I'm obsessed with my boyfriend and I want to live with him and I'm like,
Right.
Pete, can we just
Yeah.
move in
I
together?
was saying we just sat at the coffee shop having this talk
Yeah.
of like, if you're like, I want to move in with him, and it's like,
Sorry, all my friends listening are like, what? I'm like,
But
yeah,
why?
I do.
But why? Like, what's the issue? Like, what is the issue? Because what is
like to not move in with him?
no, like, why would wanting to move in with him be a problem?
Oh, I think it's because like society's always like, oh, you
what?
need to wait.
But
and,
wait for
like,
what? Marriage? Because
exactly.
then we're not pure. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
this is like very like patriarchal and sexist. The
Yeah.
whole reasoning behind it. Like you couldn't possibly like live with the man before he proposed. Like that's bullshit.
Yeah.
right, and like you want to,
Also,
like just on the basis
who
of
created this rule and who's paying for my rent? You know what I mean?
exactly.
And why do you have to why do you have to be dating for so many years before you move in with someone?
Because ultimately, like, are you really living with them anyway?
Yes,
like to
that's the
some
whole thing.
degree. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends, but
paying
like,
2 rents for no
and
reason.
you can move out if you
and
know.
you can move out. I think
Yeah.
that's what I've noticed in general, like in terms of even just like being in a relationship, like the fear of this commitment, the fear of the moving in, like even the fear, maybe less of marriage, but like people really think that like being in a relationship suddenly means you're getting married to that person, and there's so much weight, and like I feel like people are very guarded in terms of like taking risks, and I think that we started dating became official very quickly into dating, and I was afraid because I was like, what if it's too quickly, or what, you know, my parents haven't met him, my friends haven't met him yet, but I really trust my intuition and was like, this feels really good and they're gonna be really happy for me. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But why like conform to like rules that society has made up? For what?
I love that.
Well, I was gonna say at the very beginning you said no games, and on that I love how you guys talk about your relationship just in terms of the future.
Yeah.
Like you don't seem scared of just saying like we really like each other. This is who we are. Like we don't want kids yet. Like I love the way you talk about it, and it's not like you're so concerned with not moving too fast. Like you're just like, no, what you see is what you get. That's how we feel.
I think too, like, and maybe that's as New Yorkers and also us, we shoot straight. Like,
Very.
if we have if we disagree about anything, it's like it's loving. We're just communicative, and we know what we want. We know what we want with our, you know, present, our future. So like, I don't know, why not say it? And I think that once you approach it like that, then in my opinion, you can get through anything. You know, there's gonna be hard times in life in general, and I think that we have such an open line of communication, and it's just so like honest. I never filter myself. I never think about what I'm gonna text. Like in the beginning, I never thought about what I was gonna text her. So I think that makes the world of a difference.
I also want to say this, that like I feel like, and this is a good takeaway for people listening, like I feel like our parents, just because of their stories, or I'm going to speak specifically about my mom, like I feel like our parents didn't think so future forward. Like they're a little delulu. They're like, I want a baby, gonna have a baby with my husband right now, or like my boyfriend. And they didn't really think of like, do we have similar values, or is this gonna, like, what's the long term look like? And I think it's very normal to like want to have that conversations now. Like, and anyone who's in a relationship, meaning like if you're that person that you're with doesn't want to have kids, like as a woman, like you need to know that if you want to have children, right? Like that's very important information. And I think it's like, what's the fear of like wanting to talk about the future, right? Like what is it ultimately that you want?
Right. And what are you afraid of? If
And like what's right? And like we're not asking for anything right now, but I think it's like very important that we're aligned in like how we envision our future, not just like, do we want to get married, do we want to have kids, but also like, how do we want to live? How do we want to be financially, right? Like I think those are all, do we want to send our kids to private school? Yes. Even though he wants to do
I'm
public.
public.
Whatever, it's fine. But see, we have tons of time to figure that out.
that's not a deal
But
breaker.
also too, I think one of the big things that I took
Exactly.
away from Serena and maybe SFK as well is like when you talk about these things, and she's big on making vision boards during Christmas time. So I'm excited to make my first vision board ever. But I've seen it with her
a great
because
activity.
I've seen her old vision boards, and it really blew my mind at how like when you talk about things, when you think about things, when you're very intentional
And vocal.
they happen. And I think like for us, the more we talk about, because then it's subconsciously like ingrained in everything you're doing, whether it's business, personal, whatever. And so I think that also gives me a level of comfort too, where I'm like, you know, there's days where things are hard and you're struggling, you know, with whatever venture going on. But, you know, I think being intentional about that helps you manifest it into reality. I know that sounds corny, but I think I've seen it with her, I've seen it with other people, and I know it's the truth. And I think when you do that in a relationship as well, it adds an entire level of strength to it as well.
Yeah, that's how you literally. I just saw your post of how you did or I'm
SFK
dyslexic. I said S.
That was amazing.
SFK TV. Your vision board like mimics it.
No, how crazy is that?
I saw that and I was like, I need
And
to
I-
do vision boards now.
And I didn't so I basically wrote the future of SFK, the future of TV, in a TV thing, which was very much SFK TV, which is my subscription streaming platform. And I don't look at my vision boards after I make them, but I really agree. I think there's something about having the courage to say what you want. People don't do that. And that's okay. Be honest about what you want, because if you really can say it and visualize it, then it totally will come to fruition.
Yeah.
You know?
That gives me chills.
My password on my email, and I'll change it after this, so I'm not obsessed, was I made it in 2020 and it build the empire.
Oh!
I need to go change it after.
No,
But yeah, build the empire.
that's crazy.
And I built my fucking empire. I'm build the empire. Literally little things like that.
yeah.
So that's why we're so open and talk about it, and we have huge aspirations, especially with our own business and ourselves. It's because the more we say it, it's gonna happen. 100%.
Guys, Mean Girl Pod merch is officially here. It dropped. It's here. The link is in our bio, and we are so excited. We have it on.
It's so cute. It's so cozy.
We have the Do It Scared line and the Proud of You line, and we have crew necks, hoodies, long sleeves, mugs, stickers. I literally can't keep it off. They're green, they're white, they're so cute.
Yeah, they're timeless. So go get some and get some for all your friends too. And Do It Scared, and we're proud of you.
And Black Friday's here, and the holidays are here, and what better gift than some Mean Girl Pod merch?
That's right. But it's cool that you do it with business and you've always done it, but now that you do it together, you apply that to a relationship. We've never heard something somebody say that. I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. Well, on that vision board too, with the SFK, there was a whole cute photo of a couple, maybe a bride, who knows? I don't know, I forgot. But there was that, and I think it's that's something that I really don't think about the time or the how. Right now, how am I gonna get this, or when is it gonna happen? Remove that. Just what do I want, right? And why do I want it?
Yeah.
If you can focus on that, then you'll get it.
God, that's good.
I know. And I really do love that you guys are continuously talking about it in your relationship. But I know we just got the But speaking of your empire, I want you to talk about your new cards and your cards, and I want to do a few cards.
Let's do the same
cards.
Let's fucking go.
They can buy it on letsfuckingdate.com.
Now I'm stressed about saying
It's funny because when I was
SFK.
on Felix's podcast, he had Let's Fucking Date, and the first card he pulled out to play with me was, what do you want to do to me right now? So I was I need to come up with a game that is not sexual.
So this one's
And
more sexual.
This one's for dating.
Okay.
This one's for friends. Let's fucking go.
There's
Let's
two
have a great
others.
night. And there's
Okay.
two others. One's called Let's Fucking Fuck for fucking. Let's fucking play for playing with yourself, intimacy vibes.
Oh, I'm going to be taking that one. That's be fun. You can take that for your friends.
Okay, thank you. For myself, I'll just sit at home and ask myself, if you had to give a 20-minute lecture on anything, what would it be about?
This is a good one.
Alternate side street parking in New York City.
Okay.
Wow.
Love.
Well, that's
It
a
is
really
a science, and anybody who knows the struggle knows the struggle.
That's a really good one. That's niche.
I love that.
Manifesting anything you want in your life.
Oh, I'd like to
And
come
being
to
the
that.
main motherfucking character.
Love that.
I'll come to that 20-minute lecture.
What would yours be?
Mine would be coffee pots on airplanes because I want to research them because there's that whole thing, right? About do they actually wash the pots or not?
Oh.
So I've been really knee deep in that lately.
Okay,
Oh,
would
wow.
love. I would attend that
Right.
seminar.
And at the end of it, I'll tell you whether or not you should drink at the end of the 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's a no.
It is.
Mine would probably be something about skincare or astrology.
I knew you were going to say astrology. Yeah.
Wait, what sign are you guys?
I'm a Gemini, but a Libra rising and a Capricorn moon.
And I'm a Cancer, but a Libra rising.
And then a Gemini.
Moon.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
She knows mine.
I'm an Aries, Cancer.
Oh, you're double Cancer.
I'm
Wow.
an Aquarius, and I don't know the rest of the stuff.
Are they compatible?
I didn't ever want to look.
Good.
I love
Good for
that.
you.
Because I
Good
did it
for
on
you.
every other guy I dated. I would get his time of birth. I would check. I would pay for fucking so much money to get some voodoo shit like astrology, just because I wanted this control.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm let it flow.
Let it happen.
love
Let it happen.
I feel like Aquarius is a good energy.
yeah.
Oh, very. I was gonna say that's you can do the yeah.
And then let's do one from
We don't need
Let's
to
do
know.
from one.
Let's fucking
We
Date.
don't need to know.
There's some good ones
Wait,
that
is
you
there
can
a
play.
difference between the gold and the red?
Yeah, so the gold is home run.
It works.
Oh.
It works up. First base,
Yeah.
second base, third base.
Oh.
Home run.
So is it more like sexual?
Hotter the higher the base, hotter the question.
You pick, because I'm not reading, obviously.
Higher the base, higher the question. I like that. Okay. What do you like about me?
Oh,
That's
let's-
cute.
Okay, yeah. Let's say your favorite things about each other.
Oh.
You want to start?
No, you can start.
Favorite things, like how many we're doing?
Just one. Like
Just one.
with the card. Instead of like, what do you like about me? What's your favorite thing about me?
Not well.
Or what do you like about her works too? But I think it's cute to say favorite.
Kindness, like the way she treats everybody around her, works with them, her friends, me, is just with the utmost kindness and love.
That's really sweet.
I love one of my favorite things about you is how loving you are and thoughtful and amazing, and I love you so much.
Oh,
So cute.
That was cute. Sorry. That's a good. That's we're
a good
over
end.
our time.
Oh, yes,
so we have,
yes.
That's our.
Sorry.
It doesn't
We're
cuter
gonna
than
fuck
that.
now.
Yeah. So we're all gonna leave the room.
There's a couch room.
Yeah, no, literally, I was eyeing it before.
You're like, great game.
Yes,
Yeah,
great.
please
Let's play them
It's-
again.
This one especially is great for Thanksgiving and holidays and stuff. Let'sFuckingDate.com. This is Let's Fucking Go, our newest game.
Or Revolve. There's a lot of like retailers that have them.
So you can buy Let's Fucking Go on Let'sFuckingDate.com, or we have an exclusive deal with Revolve where they're also selling. It's gonna be the only retailer selling Let's Fucking Go.
Good job.
I love
Revolve's
that.
good. There you go.
Yes.
And then before we go, both of you please plug your businesses, everything, your handles, the whole shebang.
on Instagram at Felix.Levine. I have a company, links.tonight. You can join the wait list. We just had our first event at the Jimmy Bar in Soho, and then we're going to have a couple more. It's to meet people, also exclusive partnerships with some of the best bars in the city to get discounted drinks since everything is so fucking expensive these days. So it makes going out affordable, enjoyable, and hopefully meet some people organically while you're at it.
That was a great pitch.
Can we come to the
Wow.
next one?
I was about to
Of
say.
course.
Yeah.
We're trying to do it at the Skylark, which is a lovely, like very chic, bougie cocktail bar in the city. So we'll keep you guys posted and join the wait list. And we're building out the platform and company and all that fun stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
And then your podcast, your handles.
Podcast, yeah. Where's this going? On YouTube, Spotify, Apple. And I'm trying to post a little bit more on socials because it's important, but I hate doing it. At Felix.Levine on Instagram and at Felix Levine on TikTok.
Serena fucking Kerrigan. I'm Serena Kerrigan on every single platform, and if you're not following me, what the fuck are you doing?
Serena Felix, thank you so much for being
Thank you
on the show.
guys so much for
Yes,
having
thank
us.
you.
Can't wait for your wedding.